Want to get the absolute most out of your garden space? Whether you're working with a sprawling backyard plot or just a few containers on a sunny patio, choosing the right vegetables can make all the difference between a modest harvest and baskets overflowing with fresh produce. Today, we're diving deep into the 10 most productive vegetables you can grow, the heavy hitters that'll keep your kitchen stocked and your neighbors jealous all season long. We're talking about plants that deliver serious bang for your buck, require minimal space, and just keep on giving. So grab your gardening gloves and let's get into it. Before we jump into the countdown, let's talk about what makes a vegetable truly productive. We're not just looking at the total weight of harvest here. We're considering 3 key factors: how much food you get from each individual plant, how long that plant continues producing throughout the season, and how efficiently it uses garden space. A vegetable that gives you 50 pounds of produce but takes up half your yard isn't as productive as one that gives you 20 pounds from a single square foot. It's about maximizing yield while minimizing footprint and effort. With that in mind, let's count down from number 10 to the absolute champion of garden productivity. Coming in at number 10, we have bush beans. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Beans at number 10. Hear me out. Bush beans are the unsung heroes of the productive garden. These compact plants don't require any trellising or support. They're incredibly easy to grow even for complete beginners, and they're fast. We're talking about harvests starting in just 50 to 60 days from planting. Each bush bean plant will give you about half a pound of beans over its productive life. And while that might not sound like much, here's where the magic happens. Bush beans are perfect for succession planting. If you plant a new row every 2 weeks from spring through midsummer, you'll have fresh beans continuously from early summer right through until frost. Plant 20 plants, and you're looking at 10 pounds of fresh beans per planting. Do that 3 or 4 times in a season, and suddenly you've got 40 to 50 pounds of green beans from a very small space. The key to keeping bush beans productive is regular harvesting. The more you pick, the more they'll produce. Let them sit too long and develop mature seeds, and the plant thinks its job is done and stops flowering. Keep those beans picked young and tender, and they'll keep pumping out new pods for weeks. At number 9, we're looking at summer squash and zucchini. If you've ever grown zucchini, you already know where this is going. These plants are famously, almost comically productive. There's a reason why gardeners joke about locking their car doors in August so neighbors don't fill their backseat with excess zucchini. A single, healthy zucchini plant can produce anywhere from 6 to 10 pounds of squash, and honestly, that's a conservative estimate. In ideal conditions with regular watering and feeding, you can easily double that. Summer squash starts producing incredibly quickly, often within 45 to 50 days of planting, and it doesn't stop until frost kills the plant. The key with summer squash is giving it enough space. These plants are vigorous and they spread. Each plant needs about 3 to 4 square feet to really thrive. Plant them too close together and you'll invite powdery mildew and other problems. But give them room to breathe. Keep them well watered, and harvest regularly. And I mean every 2 to 3 days during peak production, and you'll be swimming in squash. The varieties don't matter much for productivity. Whether you choose classic green zucchini, yellow crookneck, or those gorgeous round patty pan squash, they're all prolific producers. 1 plant is usually enough for a small family. 2 plants, and you're giving squash away. 3 or more, and you're making zucchini bread for the entire neighborhood. Number 8 brings us to kale, and this is where we start seeing some serious production efficiency. Kale is what gardeners call a cut-and-come-again crop, meaning you harvest leaves continuously without killing the plant. You can start harvesting baby leaves in as little as 30 days after planting, and a mature kale plant will keep producing for months. I'm not exaggerating. We're talking about 4, 5, even 6 months of continuous harvest from a single plant. In mild climates, kale can even overwinter and produce through the cold months. Each plant can yield anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds of leaves over its lifetime, and since kale is so nutrient-dense, a little goes a long way in the kitchen. The beauty of kale is that light frosts actually improve its flavor, making it sweeter and less bitter. This means you can keep harvesting well into fall and early winter when most other vegetables have given up the ghost. Plant just 4 to 6 kale plants, and you'll have more greens than you can eat fresh. Trust me, you'll be freezing kale, making kale chips, adding it to smoothies, and still harvesting more. Varieties like lacinato, red Russian, and winter boar are all excellent choices for maximum productivity. Just remember to harvest from the bottom up, taking the older outer leaves and letting the center continue growing. At number 7, we have pole beans. And yes, I know we already talked about bush beans, but pole beans deserve their own spot because they're significantly more productive per square foot of garden space. While bush beans are easier in some ways because they don't need support, pole beans are the clear winners when it comes to total yield. A single pole bean plant, when grown vertically on a trellis or teepee, can produce 2 to 3 times more beans than a bush variety. We're talking about a pound or more of beans per plant over the course of the season. Even better, pole beans produce over a much longer period, typically 2 to 3 months of continuous harvest compared to bush beans 3 to 4 weeks. The trade-off is that you need to provide support, but honestly, that's a small price to pay for the increased production. A simple bamboo teepee or a section of trellis is all you need. Plant 6 to 8 pole bean plants along a 6-foot trellis, and you'll harvest enough beans to eat fresh, freeze, and even pickle. Varieties like Kentucky Wonder, Blue Lake Pole, and Vortex are absolute workhorses. They climb vigorously, produce heavily, and the beans are delicious. The vertical growth habit also makes them perfect for small gardens where ground space is at a premium. You're essentially growing upward instead of outward, maximizing production in minimal square footage. Number 6 takes us into pepper territory, and whether you prefer sweet bell peppers or spicy hot varieties, these plants are remarkably productive for their size. A single bell pepper plant can produce 8 to 10 large peppers over the course of a season. That might not sound like a huge number until you consider that each bell pepper weighs half a pound or more. Suddenly, you're looking at 4 to 5 pounds of peppers from one plant that only takes up about 1 square foot of space. Hot peppers are even more prolific. A single jalapeno plant can easily produce 30 to 40 peppers. Thai chili and other small hot pepper varieties can produce even more, sometimes numbering in the hundreds over a season. Peppers do take their time getting started, usually requiring 60 to 90 days before the first fruits are ready to harvest, but once they start producing, they're remarkably consistent. The key to maximum pepper production is warmth and consistent moisture. Peppers are heat-loving plants that really thrive when temperatures are consistently above 70 degrees. Give them full sun, regular watering without letting the soil dry out completely, and feed them every few weeks with a balanced fertilizer. They'll reward you with fruits from midsummer right up until frost. In warm climates, pepper plants can even be overwintered indoors and brought back out the following spring to produce again. Talk about getting value from a single plant. We've reached number 5, and it's time to talk about cherry tomatoes. If you've ever grown cherry tomatoes, you know exactly why they're on this list. These plants are prolific to the point of being almost unstoppable. A single, indeterminate cherry tomato plant can easily produce 10 to 15 pounds of fruit over the growing season. And in ideal conditions, you can push that even higher. The reason cherry tomatoes are so productive is simple. They set fruit continuously and prolifically. Where a large beefsteak tomato plant might have a dozen fruits ripening at any given time, a cherry tomato plant will have hundreds of flowers and fruits in various stages of development. Varieties like Sun Gold, Sweet 100, and Black Cherry are legendary for their production. Once these plants start ripening fruits, usually around 60 days after transplanting, they don't stop until frost kills them. You'll be harvesting cherry tomatoes by the handful every single day, eating them straight off the vine, adding them to salads, roasting them, drying them, and you'll still have more. The plants do get large. Indeterminate varieties can easily reach 6 to 8 feet tall and equally wide, so they need sturdy support and plenty of space. But in terms of return on that space investment, few vegetables can compete. One cherry tomato plant can keep a family of 4 supplied with fresh tomatoes all summer. Plant 2 or 3, and you'll be sharing with everyone you know. Number 4 brings us to cucumbers, and these vining vegetables are phenomenally productive when given the right conditions. Whether you choose bush varieties for containers or vining types for the garden, a healthy cucumber plant can yield 10 to 15 pounds of fruit over its productive life. Vining cucumbers grown vertically on a trellis tend to be more productive than bush types, plus they save space and produce cleaner, straighter fruits that hang down and are easy to spot and harvest. Cucumbers start producing relatively quickly, usually 50 to 60 days after planting, and they'll keep going for 6 to 8 weeks under good conditions. The absolute key to maintaining cucumber productivity is regular harvesting. You need to pick cucumbers every single day during peak production. If you let fruits mature too much or miss a cucumber that grows huge, the plant will slow down or even stop producing because it thinks it's accomplished its biological mission of making seeds. Keep those cucumbers picked at the ideal size, usually 6 to 8 inches for slicing varieties, and the plant will keep flowering and setting new fruits. Another productivity tip: plant cucumbers in succession, starting a new set of plants every 3 weeks. This way, as your first planting starts to wind down, your second planting is ramping up. You'll have fresh cucumbers from early summer through fall. Varieties like Straight 8, Marketmore, and Armenian cucumber are all excellent, reliable producers. The bronze medal goes to Swiss chard, and I'll be honest, this is one of the most underrated vegetables in the home garden. Swiss chard is an absolute powerhouse of continuous production. Plant it once in spring, and it will produce steadily from late spring through fall, and in mild climates, right through winter and into the following spring. We're talking about 6 to 9 months of continuous harvest from a single planting. You can start harvesting baby leaves in as little as 30 days after planting, and once the plant reaches maturity, you can harvest outer leaves regularly while the center continues producing new growth. Each plant can yield 2 to 3 pounds of greens over its lifetime, and since chard is rich and flavorful, a little goes a long way in the kitchen. The math here is simple. Plant 6 to 8 chard plants in spring, and you'll have more cooking greens than you can possibly use for the better part of a year. Rainbow varieties like Bright Lights add serious ornamental value too, with stems in brilliant yellows, oranges, reds, and pinks. They're so attractive you can grow them in your flower beds. Chard is also incredibly tough and resilient. It shrugs off light frosts, tolerates heat better than most greens, and rarely has pest problems. It's one of those plant-it-and-forget-it vegetables that just keeps delivering week after week. For sheer productivity over time with minimal effort, Swiss chard is very hard to beat. At number 2, we have lettuce. And I can already hear some of you asking why lettuce ranks so high. Here's the thing. When you understand how to grow lettuce properly, it becomes one of the most productive vegetables you can possibly grow. The key is treating lettuce as a cut-and-come-again crop and practicing succession planting. Loose-leaf lettuce varieties can be ready to harvest in as little as 30 days from seeding. That's faster than almost any other vegetable. You can start cutting baby leaves even sooner, sometimes at just 20 days. When you harvest lettuce by cutting outer leaves and leaving the center to continue growing, a single plant can produce for 4 to 6 weeks. Now multiply that by succession planting a new batch of lettuce every 2 weeks throughout the growing season. With the right variety selection, including heat-tolerant types for summer and cold-hardy varieties for spring and fall, you can harvest fresh lettuce from early spring right through late fall, sometimes even into early winter with minimal protection. We're talking about 8 or 9 months of continuous lettuce production. In terms of space efficiency, lettuce is a champion. In just 4 square feet of garden space, you can grow 16 lettuce plants using intensive spacing. That's enough salad greens to feed a family of 4 for weeks. As one planting is harvested out, you replace it with new transplants or direct-seeded plants. The cycle continues. Varieties like oak leaf, red sails, and buttercrunch are excellent choices. Mix in some cutting lettuce mixes, and you'll have an endless supply of fresh, crispy salad greens that would cost you a fortune at the grocery store. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the number 1 most productive vegetable you can grow is indeterminate tomatoes. This probably comes as no surprise to experienced gardeners, but the numbers really don't lie here. A single indeterminate tomato plant, when given proper support, consistent water, regular feeding, and plenty of sun, can produce 20 to 30 pounds of fruit in a single season. Some varieties in ideal conditions with extended growing seasons can produce even more. I've seen gardeners in warm climates get 50 or 60 pounds from a single plant. What makes indeterminate tomatoes so incredibly productive is their growth habit. Unlike determinate varieties that grow to a set size, flower, set all their fruit at once, and then stop. Indeterminate tomatoes just keep growing. They keep producing new stems, new flowers, and new fruits continuously from the moment they start ripening until frost finally kills the plant. In a long growing season, that can mean 4 or 5 months of continuous tomato production from a single plant. Varieties like Better Boy, Cherokee Purple, Brandywine, and San Marzano are legendary for their productivity and flavor. The fruits start ripening usually around 70 to 85 days after transplanting, and from that point on, you'll be harvesting ripe tomatoes every few days. The plants do require maintenance. They need sturdy cages or stakes, regular pruning to keep them manageable, consistent watering to prevent blossom end rot and cracking, and regular feeding because they're heavy feeders. But the payoff is absolutely worth every bit of effort. Fresh tomatoes for salads, sandwiches, sauces, salsas, and canning. A couple of indeterminate tomato plants can keep you supplied all summer and provide enough excess to preserve for winter. So there you have it, the 10 most productive vegetables you can grow, ranked from bush beans all the way up to the undisputed champion, indeterminate tomatoes. But here's the thing I really want you to take away from this. Productivity isn't just about the plant. It's also about how you grow it and how you manage your garden. The most productive vegetable in the world won't give you great yields if you plant it in poor soil, forget to water it, or let pests destroy it. These 10 vegetables all have incredible potential, but reaching that potential requires giving them what they need. That means good soil rich in organic matter, consistent moisture, adequate fertilization, proper spacing, and regular attention to harvesting and maintenance. It also means choosing varieties suited to your climate and growing season. A tomato variety that thrives in California might struggle in Maine. Do your research, start with quality seeds or transplants, and don't be afraid to experiment to find out what works best in your specific garden. One final tip. You don't need to grow all 10 of these vegetables. Even if you just choose 3 or 4 from this list and grow them well, you'll have more fresh produce than you ever imagined possible from a home garden. Start with the ones you and your family actually enjoy eating. There's no point in growing 15 pounds of kale if nobody in your household likes it. Focus on the vegetables that excite you, give them your best effort, and watch as your garden transforms into a productive powerhouse that feeds you for months on end. Happy growing, and here's to your most productive garden ever.